Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'll be breaking down the MLB slate for Sunday, April 2nd. It is officially opening day. There are 3 games on today's slate. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, guys, for baseball, I'm going to sort of break down the player pool. I'm just going to give you guys some of the guys that I like. This is a 3-game slate, so obviously there aren't many options, but on the bigger slates, I'm just going to break down some of the guys that I like. I won't be able to touch on every single player just because there are so many other players in the player pool, but I will be sure to touch on the guys that I'm going to be looking at on this slate. Alright, starting off at pitcher, at the top of the pitcher list, you got Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner is pretty expensive on DraftKings at $11,200. He is definitely in play, though, if you can find some good value plays to go with him. Bumgarner is one of the most safest pitchers to roster, especially for cash games. He's just so consistent. So if you're going to play cash on this slate, then obviously you probably want to try and jam in Bumgarner. And he does get a pretty good matchup going up against the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are not a very good hitting team, and they do struggle against lefties. So if you can find the value plays, if you can find enough value and you can jam in Bumgarner, I definitely like him. For $600 less, you got John Lester going up against the Cardinals. I have something pulled up here from RotoWire. This shows batter versus pitcher and pitcher versus batters statistics. And looking at John Lester, he has pitched very well against the Cardinals in his career. In 141 at bats, the Cardinals have only hit a 199 average against Lester, so that is very good. Lester has done very well against the Cardinals in his career. So if you want to play him, he is definitely in play. You're really going to have to look at BVP and PVB just for the beginning of the baseball season, just because there's no stats really to look at for this season. So you're probably just going to want to base most of your picks off how guys performed last year and their BVP and all that stuff. So I do like Lester. He has pitched well against the Cardinals in his career. For tournaments, I also really like Chris Archer going up against the Yankees. Archer is not a guy I would roster in cash because he's either going to get rocked or he's going to go out and strike out 10 batters. Archer is one of the best strikeout pitchers. Last year he had 233 strikeouts, but he did post a 4.02 ERA. So obviously you would only want to roster Archer in tournaments because he could get rocked. But this is a pretty good matchup at home. The Rays ballpark is a pitcher's ballpark. It does favor pitchers. So I definitely like Archer on this slate, especially in this matchup. The Yankees do struggle against righties, and Archer does have a very good strikeout rate. He could definitely go out and get double-digit strikeouts in this matchup. But looking at his PVB, he has struggled against the Yankees. In 122 at-bats, the Yankees have hit 303 against him with a 502 slug. So the Yankees have hit him pretty well, but I definitely like Archer just because he has so much upside, because he can strike out double-digit batters. So if you need somebody for tournaments, I like him. And the other pitcher I would probably target on this slate is Masahiro Tanaka in that same game. The Rays are not a good hitting team. They're one of the worst hitting teams in the league. And Tanaka has pitched very well against the Rays. 95 at-bats, the Rays have only hit 200 against him, which is very good. So I definitely like Tanaka. The Rays are not a very good hitting team, like I mentioned. And I really like Tanaka's price tag at just $8,800. That is pretty cheap. He can easily get 20 DraftKings points in this matchup. So I definitely like him as well. And yeah, those are probably going to be the pitchers that I'm targeting on this slate. Let's go and move on to catcher. Alright, at the top of the catcher list, you got Gary Sanchez. I definitely like Sanchez if you can afford him. There isn't really much value plays that I'm liking here, or value hitters that I'm liking. But if you can find some value, I like Sanchez. Going up against Chris Archer. Archer always has the ability to get rocked. And Sanchez was just on an absolute tear last year. Towards the end of the season, he was one of the best hitters. And I could definitely see him taking Archer deep today. So if you want to pay up for Gary Sanchez, I like him. I also really like Buster Posey for just 100 less. He does get a good matchup going up against Greinke. Greinke was really struggling at the end of the year last year. He was pretty much getting rocked just about every game. And I definitely like Posey going up against Greinke, especially in the Diamondbacks ballpark. Arizona does have a hitter's park that favors hitters. So I definitely like Buster Posey if you're going to pay up for catcher. I think he is definitely in play. And yeah, that's pretty much it for catcher. There's not really many options I like here. I think you're either going to be paying up for Sanchez or Posey. I don't really like Kyle Schwarber for 100 less. If I'm going to pay that price, I'll just try and get up to Posey or to Sanchez. Those are probably going to be the 2 catchers that I target on the slate. But yeah, let's go and move on to first base. Alright, some of the first basemen I'm going to be targeting on this slate. I do like Paul Goldschmidt going up against Bumgarner. Now, obviously, this isn't a great matchup, but Goldschmidt does get the righty-lefty split. He will be facing a lefty. And Goldschmidt has actually hit pretty well against Bumgarner in his career. On 46 at-bats, he's hit a 283 average. He's hit a couple home runs. had 6 RBIs against Bumgarner, 13 hits. So I do like Goldschmidt on the slate. He will probably be very low owned just because people will see that he's going up against Bumgarner and they won't want to play him. But he is going to be at home in Arizona, where it is obviously a hitter's park. So I like Goldschmidt on the slate. I figure he will be low owned. So if you need someone for tournaments, I do like him. Another guy I like is Brandon Belt going up against Greinke. Greinke does struggle against lefties, so I definitely like Brandon Belt as well. I could easily see him taking Greinke deep today. So he's probably going to be another first baseman that I targeted on this slate. And one more first baseman I like is Greg Bird going up against Chris Archer. Greg Bird does get the good lefty-righty split. He will be facing a righty pitcher, and Bird does bat left, so that favors him. And he is healthy again. He will be moved into the starting lineup. He should be batting somewhere around 5th or 6th. So I really like Greg Bird as well, and he is pretty cheap at just $3,200. So I think he is somewhat of a pretty good value play on the slate going up against Archer. Archer does struggle against lefties, so I do like him. And yeah, that's pretty much it for first base. There are probably only going to be a couple guys I target here. I like Goldschmidt for tournaments just because I figure he'll be low owned going up against Bumgarner. I like Brandon Belt going up against Greinke. And then on the cheaper end, I do like Greg Bird going up against Chris Archer. And yeah, that's pretty much it for first base. Let's go and move on to second base. Alright, some second basemen I like. I do like Ben Zobrist going up against Carlos Martinez. Zobrist has hit Martinez very well in his career. In 13 at-bats, Zobrist has had a 385 average and a 462 slug. So he has hit Martinez very well in his career. So that's something I like about Zobrist. He has hit Martinez well in his career. I think BVP is really going to be important on this slate. It's really going to be something that you're going to use when picking guys. Since we don't really have any statistics for this year, you're just going to have to look at what guys did, how guys played last year, and their BVP and stuff, and PVB and all that. So I do like Zobrist since he has hit Martinez well in his career. And another second baseman I like is Starlin Castro going up against Chris Archer. Like I already mentioned, Archer does have the potential to get rocked, and I could easily see Castro taking Archer deep. And Castro has hit pretty well against Archer in his career. In 12 at-bats, not much of a big sample size, but in 12 at-bats, Castro has had 4 hits. He's batted .333, 5 RBIs, and he has taken Archer deep once. So Castro is definitely a guy you can target. He's hit Archer pretty well in his career, so I do like him. And yeah, that's really pretty much it for second baseman. There are only going to be a couple guys I target here. I like Ben Zobrist if you want to pay up. He has hit Martinez well in his career. I do like Castro on the cheaper end, going up against Chris Archer. He has seen Archer well and hit him well. So those are going to be the second baseman I'm probably going to target on the slate. Let's go and move on to third base. Alright, some third baseman I'm going to be targeting on the slate. I definitely like Chris Bryant if you can find the value to go with him. He is very expensive though at $4,800, but he was the MVP last year. He's one of the best hitters in the league. I would probably never fade Chris Bryant. He has so much upside. He can take anybody deep. So if you find enough value plays and you can pay up for Bryant, I do like him. And another third baseman I like is Eduardo Nunez going up against Greinke. I can already tell you that stacking the Giants is going to be a pretty popular play today. I feel like Greinke is really going to struggle today, and the Giants are going to do very well. I don't really like Nunez just because he bats towards the bottom of the order, but he does have good upside. He does get on base. He will steal bases, and he does have a little bit of power as well. He could definitely take Greinke deep. So I do like Eduardo Nunez at third base. He does have really good upside. He just does so much. If he gets on base, he will steal bases. So I like him as well, along with Chris Bryant. Those are probably going to be the 2 third basemen that I target. I do like Longoria going up against Tanaka, but Longoria has done very bad against Tanaka in his career. In 23 at-bats, he's only hit .130 against Tanaka, so he has struggled. But Longoria is pretty cheap at just $4K. If you need someone on the cheaper end, I like him, but he hasn't done very well against Tanaka in his career. Those are probably going to be the third baseman I look at. I do like Bryant. I really like Nunez at just $4,100, and if you need someone a little bit cheaper, I like Evan Longoria. Although he has struggled against Tanaka, I could see him doing well today. But yeah, that's pretty much it for third base. Let's go and move on to shortstop. Alright, some shortstops I'm going to be targeting on the slate. I do like Aledmys Diaz going up against John Lester. This is the good. Diaz does get the good righty-lefty split. He will be facing a lefty, and Diaz does bat right-handed, so that's a plus for him. And Diaz does bat towards the top of the order. Roto Grinders currently has Diaz to bat second, I believe. Yeah, he is projected to bat second, so that's always a plus. Anytime you get a guy towards the top of the order, he just has he has a better chance to get more at bats. And I do like his price tag as well at just $3,800. That's pretty cheap for Diaz. Towards the end of last year, Diaz was upwards of 5K, so he is pretty cheap at just 3,800. So I do like him at shortstop. I think he is worth a look. And I also like Brandon Crawford going up against Greinke. Crawford also gets the good split going up against a right-hander since Crawford bats left. And Roto Grinders, they currently have Crawford projected to bat 5th, which is very good. That's usually where you want guys to bat. They just have plenty of chances to get RBIs and drive guys in to get extra points. So I do like Crawford. I do like stacking him, Posey, and Pence together. I could totally see all them like driving each other in. So I do like Crawford as well on shortstop. I think he's a guy you want to target. That's pretty much it for all the shortstop. Those are probably going to be the guys that I look at. I do like Eduardo Nunez, but you can play him at third base or shortstop. I like Diaz and I like Crawford. Brad Miller, I like him going up against Tanaka. Miller's pretty cheap, and he was playing very well last year, but he has struggled against Tanaka in his career. In 24 at-bats, Miller has only hit 208 against Tanaka, so that's not very good, but Miller does bat cleanup, and he has plenty of chances to drive guys in, so he is worth a look. But at shortstop, I'm just probably going to be targeting Crawford, Diaz, and Nunez. And yeah, that's pretty much it for shortstop. Let's go ahead and move on to outfield. All right, so some outfielders I'm going to be targeting on the slate. Like I already mentioned earlier, I do like stacking the Giants today, so I do like Hunter Pence going up against Greinke. Pence is currently projected to bat third, so that's right where you want him. He'll have plenty of chances to drive guys in, batting third. And I do think Greinke is really going to struggle today, so I'm going to have plenty of Giants in my lineup. And Pence is definitely going to be one of the guys I target, so I do like him. And this is a good matchup in Arizona. Arizona is a hitter's ballpark. It does favor hitters, so I like Pence. Another guy I really like is Jacoby Ellsbury going up against Chris Archer. This is one of the best BVPs to look at. Ellsbury has rocked Archer in his career. In 34 at-bats going up against Archer, Ellsbury has hit .559. Ellsbury has had 19 hits. He has taken Archer deep twice. He's had 5 RBIs, and he's had a .765 slug. So I do really like Jacoby Ellsbury on the slate. I feel like he is going to be a very popular play. He always does well against Archer. And Ellsbury is pretty cheap as well, just 3,600. He's probably one of the good value hitters that you're going to need on the slate. I think he's going to be a lock for me. Just looking at BVP, he does very well against Archer, so I do really like Jacoby Ellsbury on this slate. Another play I really like is Kevin Kiermaier going up against Tanaka. I really like Kiermaier just because he has so much upside. He does bat leadoff, which is very good. That's something you want. He'll get plenty of at-bats. And Kiermaier does have really good stolen base upside. Last year in 2016, he had 21 stolen bases, so if Kiermaier gets on base, he definitely has a chance to get you some points from stealing bases. And Tanaka does have a pretty slow release, so that really is a bonus for Kiermaier. And Kiermaier also gets the good lefty-righty split. Kiermaier bats left, and he will be going up against a righty, so I do like him. He's probably going to be another popular value play on this slate. It's just 3,400. I really like him. Another BVP play I want to mention is Jason Hayward going up against Carlos Martinez. Hayward has hit very well against Martinez in his career. In 17 at-bats, Hayward's had seven hits, and he's batted .412 against Martinez with a .471 slug. So I definitely like Jason Hayward just for the fact that he's hit Martinez well in his career. I don't like Hayward's projection in the lineup, though. He is projected to bat 7th, which is never something you want. You don't really want to target guys who bat towards the bottom of the order. But just from the way that Hayward has done against Martinez, he is definitely worth a look. He has hit Martinez well in his career, so I do like him. So yeah, that's pretty much it for outfield. Those are just some of the guys that I'm going to be targeting on this slate. I do really like Ellsbury, like I said. He just has really good BVP against Archer. I like Kiermaier just because he has really good stolen base upside, and he bats leadoff, and he gets the good split going up against Tanaka. And I also like Jason Hayward. He has hit Martinez well in his career. Those are some outfielders you can target on this slate, and they're pretty cheap as well. Obviously, you can target Chris Bryant and all these other guys. All of them have very good upside, but I just wanted to give you guys some of the value plays that I like. I'm not really going to be on any Diamondbacks today. Going up against Bumgarner, the only Diamondback I really like is Paul Goldschmidt, just because he's hit Bumgarner as well in his career. I'm going to be staying away from all Diamondbacks today. I don't want to target hitters going up against Bumgarner. Bumgarner is such a good pitcher. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my top 5 plays for tonight. Alright guys, so these are my top 5 plays for tonight. I filled out half of the lineup for you. If you want to get the other half before lock, then follow me on Twitter and send me a message on Twitter and I'll get you a lineup. I also give out lineups for Yahoo and FanDuel along with DraftKings, so if you play on those 3 sites, then you can get my lineups. I'm not going to be doing NBA lineups anymore, so if you message me, just know you're messaging me for MLB lineups. But yeah, thanks so much for watching guys, I really appreciate it. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed. If you never want to miss out on any of my videos, then click the bell icon next to my YouTube name, and you'll get notifications every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on a video, please be sure to do that. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight, guys. Peace.